Hey everybody, what's up? It's Nick here, and in today's video I'm going to be responding to a question that I got on my last tutorial, which says, can you please make a tutorial about your picture-in-picture outro? Thanks, greatly appreciate it. So if you don't know, what he was referring to was how I have the little links that are clickable in my outro, as you can see. I don't know how many of you actually watch my videos until the end and actually see the outro, but this is what I have right here. As you can see, as it plays through, I have the videos playing in the background. But as you can see, they're kind of overlaid by this shape, and let me just go back there. And they're playing, and the shape is kind of like, the shape is over top of them, and they're kind of just have this little cut out part of the shape right here. And I'm going to show you the basics of how I did this today. So I used Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator to do this. And I'm just going to go over my workflow for you guys right now. So here are the project files that I used for my actual outro. As you can see, I have just a normal background image, which was a modified version of this picture that I got from DeviantArt. And then I have my actual project file itself. And then I have a couple of different shapes that I created in Adobe Illustrator. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is how to create that shape in Illustrator. So it's a very basic shape that I created very simply using the Pathfinder tool down here. Essentially what I did was I grabbed a rounded rectangle. I just made a simple rounded rectangle, and then I made a circle. And let's just change the color of that circle for now. And I put the circle at the edge of the rounded rectangle, and then I used the Pathfinder tool to select them and to take the circle out of the rounded rectangle. So I've gone over how to use the Pathfinder tool in some other videos before, but essentially what you need to do is go to Window and make sure Pathfinder is open, and then you need to select both of the things that you want to cut the shape out of, and then go over here to Pathfinder, and I'm going to click on minus front. And essentially what that did was it cut the circle out of my rounded rectangle. Now obviously you can do that much nicer to get a shape that looks like this, but essentially that is the basic method that I did behind making this shape. And so once that's done, let's go into Photoshop, and here is my actual project file that I used right here. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of different groups for all of the different aspects right here. And essentially what I did to get that effect right here was I cut this shape out of another one of those shapes, and then I made it so that it's only overlaid by the transparent background. So to do that, I'm just going to go and create a new document. I'm going to make it 1920 by 1080, and I'm going to make sure the background is transparent. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm just going to drag in my background picture so that we have a little something to look nicer by. I'm going to put my transparent layer right down there. And so now what I'm going to do is, that doesn't quite look right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shape that I made in Illustrator, and I'm going to open it in with Photoshop, and I'm going to have it right here. So this is my shape, and this is the shape that I want to cut out of. So I'm just going to align it to the center to, make it easier for a bit of a demonstration. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that shape, and then I'm going to hide the duplicate and make the second one a little bit larger. So I'm just going to make it a bit larger, and for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to align it to the center. But now I'm going to show the newer one, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to change the color of it to, let's say, red. So now as you can see, I have the black shape for the background layer. As you can see, this has a little bit of a background layer, and the red shape is going to be the one that we're going to cut out. So if I just go and transform it, I'm going to make it look a little bit nicer and make it look to the way that I want it to. So let's just go to warp here and warp it just a bit to make the background look like that. That actually looks pretty nice. Let me just make it look a little bit better like that. And so that is the shape that we want to cut out. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go over here to this little box right here, hold down Command if you're on a Mac, or Control if you're on a PC. As you can see, this little icon came up as I'm holding Command. Click on this little thumbnail right here, and as you should see, it should make a selection of the red layer right here. So now that you have the selection of the red layer, you want to go to your actual layer with the black and your background layer and click Delete. And what that should do is that should delete the area of the red shape from the background layer. So if I just hide that, and I don't know why that happened. Okay, now I click delete and it deleted that from that. And also we just select the background layer. And apparently the background layer is a smart object and is not editable. So my bad on that one. Let me just drag another copy of the background layer right here and get rid of that one. So now we have a background layer that's not the transparent background. So now I'm just going to reselect that, select the background layer, delete. And now if we hide that, as you can see now, we have our little black border. And then as you can see, we see the transparency grid behind the black. And if I just hide this shape, as you can see, we've actually just cut that shape right out of the background and right out of the black shape. And that is what I did. I just laid out my things in a grid like this and made it look all nice. And then I cut the shapes out of the background so that we overlay the video underneath of this image. So now, if I just quit out of Photoshop for now, so let me just quit, don't save, and I'll quit out of Illustrator 2. If I just go to, let's say, ScreenFlow and start a new empty document, and I take in one of my outro templates. So let's just take the blank one. Drag that into the timeline. As you can see now, we have our outro template. So what I want to do now is I want to take my video and I want to put it underneath of this picture. So let's just find a video. So I'll go to my videos and let's just say I'll take the last video about the glowing lower third. I like the way I name my projects. So I'll take the video of the last glowing lower third and let's say I want to trim it to be right around there and right around there. And I'm also just going to detach my audio. And now I just layer that underneath of the picture that you're seeing right here. And then we just need to resize the video. And typically mine get resized to size 33. That seems to be the appropriate size for fitting them in these boxes. And then we just fit them in the box, and as you can see now as we play it through, the video moves and it's kind of cut out in the picture-in-picture style right here. And that is how I did it. So I don't want to quit ScreenFlow because I'm recording right now, but that is essentially how I did that. I hope this answered your question right down here. So thank you a lot for watching, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.